The letter I'm going to read to you today was written almost 100 years ago, it being written on the 11th of November 1918 and me making this video on the 10th of November 2018. It was written by my great-great-grandmother, Sarah Eliza Savage, who lived in Brightlingsea in Essex. And the letter's really interesting because of the way she writes it. There's sort of features of a sort of Essex pronunciation. She was actually born in Sussex but moved to Essex as a little girl. Her father was from Sussex, but her mother was actually from Liverpool. So it's interesting that there might, when she was talking, there might have been some Liverpool tone sort of features in her accent. With the letter being written on Armistice Day, we hear about her two sons, Harry and Willie, who were fighting. Willie was actually injured at the Somme, but he went back into the army after he'd recovered, and her son Harry was in the Navy. She mentions her daughter Emily, whose husband Tom was killed at Passchendaele a year before the letter was written. The letter was sent to Sarah's daughter Lily and her granddaughter Mona, who lived in Norwich. And Lily's husband Harry, he was in the army as well, and he gets a mention in the letter because he was going to go and visit poor Emily, who'd lost her husband. Sarah also talks about her health, and it's sad to say that she died less than a year after this letter was written. She had cancer. But it's nice to have this in the family. It's the record of a perfectly ordinary Essex housewife on a really significant day in Western history. Monday night, November the 11th, 1918, Brightlingsea. My dear daughter and my little Mona, just a few lines to your welcome letter, and was pleased to know that you both is well. I hope you are, since this dreadful complaint is about. Ain't it awful, so many people dying that make one feel afraid to think if you were going to have it? Ernest is better. He's calling off his club on Tuesday, as that has made him look sadly, dear. I had a surprised to have our dear boy Willie home for a few days, but that soon passed away. But I am so sorry his arm doesn't heal up. He say he has to go through another operation. I don't think they will know when they will get the last piece of bone out. He say he will not be home for Christmas. He think he may be home when Harry come back next February, which I hope he will, pleased God. I had a letter from Harry to say he had started last Friday. I do hope he will have a better trip this time. They all think he will, dear, and we had joyful news today. That is joyful news, to think that dreadful fighting is over, but there is some very sad hearts today for them that will never return. I have thought about poor Emily. I do wish poor Tom had been spared to come home to her. Dear daughter, I must say I don't get on very well, dear. I can't say what is the matter. I'm like a whitewash wall, dear. You know how I was 9 years ago when I went in the hospital? I am just the same, only I'm always in ache around the body. I have wondered if there is something growing there, because I'm always aching. Dear, you may think about me on Thursday. I'm going to the hospital to see what can be done. That is dreadful to get about and can't do anything. Poor old Maggie, she is coming for the lot. I don't know what I should do without her, but dear, don't worry about me. I hope, please God, I shall get on all right again, but dear, I wish I was well. That seems such a job to go to the hospital. Dear Amy is coming with me. I will let you know when I have been. Well, dear, I do hope you will soon have Harry home again now, and we can live in peace again. Well, dear, I can't write any more just now because my poor ache, dear. I am sending the money for the tea. You never said how much it was, so I am sending the same as the other was. I hope it will be right. If not, you must say. Amy is going to have some. Dear, I must close. With all our love to you and the little dear, I am glad you have got her. I know she is company for you. Kiss her for us all. I should like to see her again, I hope one day, and I hope Harry is better. Dad is talking of writing to him. I hope he go to see Emily. Poor Emily. She is always hard done by, poor girl. Well, there we are. I hope you enjoyed that insight into the life of Sarah with her tea and people dying of a dreadful complaint, which was, of course, the Spanish flu, and the real tragedy that her family and every family in the country experienced of losing somebody in that conflict. And I think it's palpable, really, her relief of the war being over, even if she had other things obviously on her mind with her health, poor old thing. So, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.